Welcome to an Involve Me guide on lead funnels. Let me start this video by telling you a statistic. A staggering 90% of company websites are static and generic, resulting in very low conversion rates of around 2.3%. Here is where interactive lead funnels come into play. They add interactivity and personalization to your page. They enable you to create interactive, multi-step flows that guide your visitors to the right offering, capturing valuable lead data in the process. This way, you can eventually turn your prospective buyers into actual customers. So, how can Involve Me help? Involve Me is a tool that helps companies boost online conversions. Marketing and sales teams use Involve Me to create interactive lead funnels that help increase website conversion rates and generate leads on autopilot. All that with no coding and no design skills required. Interactive lead funnels, which you build with Involve Me, help you do three main things. The first thing they do is that they guide. This means that they create interactive lead flows that guide your visitors to the right offering. Second, they qualify. Thanks to this, you get to know your audience using our powerful lead scoring and qualification tools. And lastly, but certainly not least, they convert. This is where you turn your visitors into verified leads with efficient, personalized lead capture forms. Let's actually take a look at how an interactive lead funnel could look like in practice. We are now in the price quota calculator template that you can find on Involve Me, and I'm going to run through the template and show you some of the things that you can do using an interactive lead funnel. The very first thing I want to point your attention to is the Elements tab on your right side of your screen. As you can see, I can scroll through it, and there are many elements I can choose from. And using these elements is as simple as dragging and dropping them inside of your funnel. So for example, as you can see, this element right here, this is a image choice element. We are asked a question, which product are you interested in? And I can choose from marketing, sales, service, and custom bundle. As you can see, these are custom images, and I can click on each one of these images to make my choice. Let me actually demonstrate to you how this would look like in practice. So as you can see, I have my choices here. I can hover over them and then click on one, and it gets selected, and I get taken to sales using conditional logic, which we will get to in a second. And if I wanted to use any other element, so for example, I'm going to go on page number 2, and I would like to put a rating scale somewhere here. So I'm going to drag and drop it, and I can give a rating on how important is marketing to you. So I could change the stars to an opinion scale, so 1 through 10. And as you can see, it automatically also applied the design that I have set for my funnel, so I don't need to tinker with every element individually, and it is ready to go right out of the box. Within this funnel, there are a couple of elements present, and you can set them up simply by clicking on them, and then on the right side, as you can see, the menu changes to the element you just clicked on. And you have a lot of customization options with most of the elements that we offer, and here you can really get into the specifics and make it your own. So if I go to the first page again and I click on the image choice element, when I scroll down on the right hand side, I will actually get to the answers and then to what the answers are actually mapped to. If I would click on marketing, I would be taken to page 2, marketing, which is exactly what happened in my demonstration beforehand. Then if I would click on sales, I would jump to page 5, sales, right here, and so on and so forth. A very important element when it comes to lead generation is, of course, the contact form element. So I'm going to hover over it on the right side and then drag it and drop it onto an empty page. And as you can see, I automatically have the contact form with first name, last name, and email. On the right-hand side, you could customize this and add more fields. So for example, I would also be interested in the organization name, since this is a very professionally geared price quote calculator. And then you could also tick which of these fields are required to fill in. So for example, I want the last name to be required and also the organization name. And of course, the email. You could see an indication of a star here once a field is required. Another thing that you can do using the contact form element is the OTP email verification. You could simply trigger this, and then once your lead fills in an email, they actually need to OTP verify their email address, so they would get a one-time verification code, meaning you essentially eliminate things like spam email addresses or just throwaway email addresses that people might use, and this way you collect more reliable leads. So as you can see, using the OTP verification system, once I input my email address, I get an exclamation mark here. Once I click on it, I am asked to please verify my email. So I can send the code, and in my inbox, I receive a verification code that I then copy and paste, and as you can see indicated by the check mark, my email is verified. One last element that I want to show you is the AI-generated text element. Let's say at the end of each of the outcome pages for marketing, sales, service, and bundle, I would like to include some AI-generated text. I gave my AI the prompt of tell my lead that for a plan that costs, and then I have inputted the exact answer of what they select here, of how much would they like to pay. And by having these add-ons, and yet again, I've taken the answer from this page, so they can choose which add-ons they want to have, and this would be displayed in the final message. They could benefit in 3 different ways in their marketing efforts. So this might not be the best prompt, but this is here just to show you the power and the options of what you could do with the AI text element. Let me actually show you what it would generate with a relatively vague prompt that I gave it. So I'm gonna go through marketing. I'm gonna click on professional, go next. How many marketing contacts? 30,000. And then let's say I want a custom domain and a custom SSL, and I calculate the price. And then the AI was able to craft a custom message based on my answers, increasing personalization and engagement of my interactive lead funnel. So this was a brief example of how an interactive lead funnel using InvolveMe could look like. And now back to the main video. InvolveMe also integrates with a variety of CRMs, such as Salesforce, HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, and many, many more. The benefits of having these integrations is that it automates your sales and marketing processes. This is done through directing and connecting your lead funnel automatically into your CRM. InvolveMe also integrates with tools such as Airtable, Notion, MailChimp, Brevo, and again, many, many more, which are also beneficial to streamlining and automating your company's internal and marketing processes. I hope that now you have a better understanding of what an interactive lead funnel is, and especially why you should consider turning your website from a generic, static website, which, let's be honest, doesn't really convert leads, into an interactive, automatic lead generating machine. Good luck getting involved.